Okay, morning guys. Okay, it's just gonna keep going where we left off yesterday. Uh, let's run through a few things in this kind of live coding tutorial. Um, let's run the project and see what we've got so far. Let's have a look at it in the simulator. 17 Pro, there we go. So we've just got a list of movies and the franchise that they belong to. Two Star Wars, two Star Trek. Great stuff. Okay, and if we look at our application, we've got our app file, which is just launching the list view, an empty list view. Okay. I use this left canvas because I just feel it's more natural to me. And the list view itself has a view model because we're going to implement MVVM because it's a small app and it's an easy separation of concerns and components, moving parts. We've made it state object because we are going to observe publishing properties within the view model, and yeah, it's not a simple data type where we could use state. So we'll use state object for that. In the body here, we've got a list and it's calling on these view model items, which let's look at the view model in, let's look at it a second. So we've got the items, we're using the ID on each item in this API model as an ID. So for each item, we use this card view here. We pass in the item title and subtitle. Let's have a look at the card view. We've got a title, a subtitle, its own body here because it conforms to view. It's got a VStack, which is leading alignment, small spacing, the text using a headline and a subheadline for the subtitle. Now, if I run over, oh yes, sorry, on appear. So on appear, we're doing a fetch using our API client, although we're going to implement that later using URL session. We don't have it implemented yet, but on appear, we call the fetch. So initially we are launching with no content. So it'd be nice to put some UI handling for the empty state in there as well. We'll get back to that. Fetch titles. It is calling the API client here. Okay, so we've wrapped our API client in this protocol. The idea is, and we've injected it into our view model. The idea is then that the view model is testable. We can inject a mock API client and easily mock out, create a mock item using this protocol. Just the mock API client, we just need to conform to fetch content and return an API model. And then this is taking a default model, so we don't need to worry about it for now. We just call list view model without it, and this is initialized in the view model initializer, but we could override it. Okay, so the fetch content is called on appear and it returns these API models, and the API model has an ID because it needs to be identifiable for the list. And it will be codable because we probably use an API in this. I wonder does that identifiable still work, because this is identifiable here. So it does. Yeah. So it doesn't need to be codable right now, but it will be codable, and codable seems to conform to identifiable anyway. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay, that's pretty much it. We've got a bit of padding here on the list. Really? Do I need that on the list? Oh, it's on the card. No, it's on the list. Why do I need that? I don't need that padding. I think I put the padding on the card view. All right, let's have a look. See what difference it makes. Yeah, better. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, the first thing is I don't really like this this style of list. So I'm going to change that. So we'll go for list style. And in here, we're going to go for plain. And okay, so each time now we need to run our project to view the UI, which is fine. It doesn't take too long, but I'm going to change this to light mode as well. How do I do that again? There we go. So it's Shift, Command, and A. Maybe I'll go back and build that. So I think what we'll start doing here is we'll set up the preview so that we can make changes to this view and view them in real time. So to switch on the preview, you would go to here, go to Canvas and hit that. It's going to appear down the bottom of the screen, but I don't like it down there. So let's do this. I'll get rid of this and unpause. See what we get for free. Okay, so really, we get everything for free. Oh, we do. We do indeed. Well then, I was going to implement a preview here. Oh, look. View model, is there any need? So the list view as a default API client, and the API client is being used. I get you. Okay, so when we change this to an actual API client, then we'll want to mock it out. Let's do it. Okay, so let's implement a preview that doesn't use this API client. Is that what I want to do? Okay, let's do it. Let's do that. Okay, so let's create a mock API client. I'll create it here. Class mock API client. Like that, it's got to conform to the protocol. Like that. Will it ask for conformance? Yes, it will. Apply the conformance. And in here, let's return some mock content. I'm just going to copy this guy out. Star Wars. So I'm going to say one subtype. And let's just say 2, 3, 4. Very good. Okay, so this is 2. This is 3. And this is 4. And let's just use a bit of cursor trickery. For that, there, and there, and there. Let's go subtitle. With a capital S. Okay. All right. So now we've got a mock API client. I actually don't like keeping the client here. These classes are already a bit convoluted. So let's extract this to its own class, to a file. I'm going to extract the API client to a file as well. Here we go. And if I go back here, I think the protocol belongs with the actual API client here. Yeah, we've got these groups how do I? So I think these are folders rather than groups, and I can't. I want to add these. Add new folder from selection. Yes, please. I'm just going to call the folder API client. Usually I work with groups here, and groups can be moved around, but let's just stay with folders for now. Let's add in the mock client into this folder, and we will also add in actually mock client. I wonder, could we put them? No, let's leave the mock on its own. API client has the protocol. Let's remove that space. And if I go back to the list view model here, let's separate out the API model as well. Yeah, extract file and into this group. There we go. Okay, we need foundation to support that. All right. So where are we? That's everything separated out. Don't want that. I'll put up the list view here. All right. So now in this preview block, I would like to use my mock rather than my actual view model. So what I need to do is initialize the view model here with a mock API client, and then use this, defined view model here in my list view. So let's do that. We're gonna have to change this. So we're gonna need to be able to inject this view model. Let's create a new initializer. Initializer. So view model that. Fine. We can wrap these in protocols as well, like we did for the API client, but we'll not do it just now. So I'm using this syntax underscore view model, which will allow me to initialize a state object with parameters, rejected parameters. So if I go list view model. Yes, now that's really what we're trying to do here. Pass that in, Mark. List view model, init, wrapped value. So we can actually get rid of this. Just use the init directly. Wrapped value be that. Let's give that a go. So down here, let's say let VM equals the mock. Oh, right. Okay, sorry about that. So mock API client is just keep our code explicit if we can, so it's easy to read afterwards. You know, well-written code should be its own documentation. Somebody famous once said mock API client, then pass in the items. It is I don't want to do that, thank you. So just create that, and now that's it, because we've already defined fetch content with our mock content here. So that's all we want. Excuse me. Now the list view is going to have a view model. Pass that in. So let's define the view model first. So let VM equals list. view model, list view model here, and it's oh, coffee, it's gone. It's going to take our API client, so API client, and then we'll say the mock API client, and our list VM now takes a view model, and let's pass in our mocked view model. I might actually rename this to mocked view model or preview. Let's call it a preview view model. Maybe we'll have various types of mocks. So this is our preview view model. Okay, so will that work for us? Let's try it. So we'll get rid of this and open up a canvas. Go on, be good, be good. It's thinking. It is thinking. Failed to build the scheme, really. What have we got? Missing argument. Oh, look at that. Okay. So let's have a look here. Once again, so the list VM, I just want a quick look at it. I think you can go away for a minute. Takes the view model. So unless we give it a default value, which we can do, and which we will do. But yes, we do want to do that. So no outside third party owns this. At the moment, our our view model will live and die with this list view. So now we should it should work. So if I open up the canvas again on the list view, boom, there we go. One subtitle, two subtitle, three subtitle, four subtitle. Okay, that's nice. That's done on 44. No. Like, what did you do? On 44. What's it doing now? Sorry, we have multiple errors now. Oh, God, you're joking. Really? What has it done? It's just stripped down everything I've done. Go away. That's the list view. Sorry, that's just the list view. This is the list view model. Oh, it did. It did. Oh, that's not nice. How do I go back? I can't. That is very frustrating, isn't it? So is there a back on the AI generation? Fix error. Can I revert? Yes, I can. Revert. Oh, let's do it. We might have to do all this again. Let's browse the change history. Revert them all. That's not good. Let's have a look. That is not good. Guys, it's terrible. What is it doing? Okay, we've reapplied them. So we've got our list defined properly here. We've got our on appear is defined. Here's our list view model. Good Lord. Okay, let's just quickly put these back. Let's extract this to a file. That's pretty straightforward. We need foundation here. And let's go back again. API model is fine. Redeclaration. I don't think so. API client is going to be extracted. I'm also going to bring the protocol, but let's get rid of it here. Extract here, extract to a file, out you go. Implement the protocol alongside. Do we need any help with this? API model is complaining, but I feel it should be there. Let's have a quick look. There it is. Invalid redeclaration of API model. Honestly, I don't think so. Let's go back to the view model where we initially had it. I don't see it redeclared. Maybe it is. Oh, it is. Sorry, here it is. Let's get rid of this guy. Okay, he's gone. Move to trash. The API client, let's move him in here. Now our mock API client, we have lost that, have we? This view model, let this init our default value so that the view can maintain its ownership of this view model unless it's injected. Actually, even if it's injected. Yeah, but yeah, we'll manage the life and death of the view model in the normal app, in the main default app, the main app. Okay, so the mock API client, I need to rebuild that. So let's go to the API client here and build it in here, and then we'll extract it. So class mock, sorry, I have it copied, mock API client. Oh, there's Maria, mock API client. So then if I conform to this API client protocol, like that. Okay, so we'll just add some mock content in here, similar to what we did last time. So let's just use one. And here we'll say one subtitle. That. Here we'll say two. And here we'll go with, what have I lost here? Quotation marks. Two subtitle, like that. And just for completeness, let's add a couple more in there. Oops, not like that. And let's close this one up, close our array like that. Change these, so it's 3 and 4. And here we will change this guy to 3 and to 4. And that's good. Let's extract this to its own class. Although it's related to the API client and conforms to the protocol, I don't want to put the mocks in there because probably will keep them elsewhere in the project, and we may have a need for more than one mock, as I said earlier. So let's go to the list view, and I don't want to use this right pane. Let's go here, here, still using the right pane. Boom, boom, here we go. So now we've got a mock API client. I'll have a look at it here. It has its fetch content, mock return content. We set up our preview view model like this, and it injects. So that's it. Let's have a quick look and see, does that work? Thinking. We have a default and working. So there we go. It's good. That's perfect. Okay. So what have we done here? 23 minutes. It's a very short video. And all we've done is separate out the API client and its mock objects, and set up our preview here in the list view. Set up our preview closure to use a preview view model and inject that view model into the list view. And the preview view model has a mock API client. That's really the part we're mocking here, is the API client. So we're just building up a dependent structure with mocked parts, so that we don't need to rely on what will eventually be a live API client, which for fetch content will make an API call. So that's it. I think we can commit those items. We also added, we just cleaned up our list here and just made it edge to edge and made it a plain style, because there's that's better. I think we're going to introduce a navigation stack and some navigation as well shortly. So I'm going to commit that, and I think we will wrap this video up. Oh yes, we also injected the view model using this syntax, this underscore syntax, so that we can inject, so we can initialize a state object with parameters in the view using this underscore here. API model, API client, that's fine. That's fine. This is just separating out our objects. Okay, so let's give it a comment. Added preview handling, updated views and models for mocking. For mock injection. Okay, let's go with that. And okay, that's part 2 of our list and detail application. Thanks. Talk to you in part 3.